What's up, everybody? NJ Sweat's back. We're back for week 2. And, we didn't do that good week 1, but
So
we're going to be better week 2. And just like how it always goes, we're each going to give you 3 picks, a parlay, and an underdog. And very excited about this week. So, Joey, why don't you start us off?
yeah, I'll start us off. I was going to offer. Speak for yourself when you say we didn't do very good, because I went 2-1, and I was 1 Niners win away from my parlay hitting.
Yeah, Colts busted up my parlay that I gave you guys.
Yeah, I feel like Colts busted up most of the. And Washington, but a good week for the books. But I'm gonna start us off. Send us to Tennessee. I want to take the Titans, 8.5.
You're gonna take the points?
I'm taking the points.
All right.
They beat Jacksonville last year. I think towards the end of the year. I think in November by 20.
You're laying the points, you mean?
Yeah, I'm laying the points. I'm willing to take this at like 9.5, and that is because we saw the Titans do well against Denver defense that I think is better than the Jaguars. I don't have any stats to back that up, but just based off the eye test.
I mean, the Jaguars' defense was horrible last week. They did have 2 huge turnovers against Phillip Rivers and a giant goal line stop, but they were getting gashed at will, honestly.
Yeah, we were driving down the field so easily.
Yeah.
And also, when Derrick Henry plays Jacksonville, you know what he does. Over 200 yards and like 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exactly why. I mean, they were gashing him on the ground before Marlon Mack went out. Then, they stepped it up as soon as Jonathan Taylor started taking over the bulk of the carries. But he's a rookie. I mean, he's not the same thing as Derrick Henry. So, and I think the Tennessee defense is going to be too much for the Jaguars offense, and Minshew, as good as he looked last week in that offense. A lot of young pieces there, and this Tennessee defense, they looked pretty good against Denver. Yeah, I think towards third quarter, fourth quarter, this game gets out of hand for Jacksonville, and then Titans hit their field goals. Steven Gostkowski hits his field goals, and I think we can get a double-digit lead going.
The key for the Titans, what the Colts didn't do is their rookie running back, what is it, James
Robinson? Yeah,
he was averaging like 5 yards a carry, and that set up Minshew on the play action. Minshew actually only had 1 incompletion that game. So if Titans just stop the run and let Minshew throw it, because Minshew was throwing as the second option. So if they let him throw as the first option when they're down points, it would be way easier on the Titans defense.
Yeah, I think by third quarter could get ugly for the Jaguars. Just my opinion. So I'm taking that 8.5. Go with my second pick here. I'm gonna move to over and unders, the totals. I'm gonna take the under in the Washington football team versus the Cardinals at 47.5, I believe it is right now, on FanDuel. That's just because Washington looked like they had good defense. Offense looked kind of slow. Got some field position advantages against the Eagles with some turnovers. But I expect them to hold Kyler Murray in check. They could be riding high off of an upset of the Niners, 7-point dogs. And, yeah, I think the offense – I can see their defense stopping Arizona and holding them to a limited amount of points, and then I don't really trust that Washington offense. I'm not picking a side, but I like the 47.5 under. And then I'll take another under in the NFC East, and that's the Rams and Eagles. Saw the Rams come out on Sunday Night Football. Control the ball, slow drives, run the ball a lot. And then you have the Eagles, who are kind of in flux. Like, offensive line's a mess. Couldn't put up a lot of points against Washington. That's also under 47. So those are my 3 picks.
Yeah, about those unders. First with Washington. Washington's best offense might have been Carson Wentz in that offensive line for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Given Washington short fields on all their points, so their offense is just so pathetic right now. And yeah, the Rams and Eagles pick. Eagles look like the same exact team as last year. It looks like they lost their offseason. They really didn't get any better. And their offensive line is extremely banged up too. And the Rams, for the other hand, it's really just Sean McVay and long drives.
Yeah.
That's where I could see the under. So
as long as they don't turn the ball over, I think. And chew that clock up, 5, 6, 7 minute drives. Less time, less points scored.
Yeah. Any comments, Justin?
I was just going to say that Washington and Arizona opened up at 45, and now they're at 47.5. Because I didn't know it was that high. Like, that is pretty high, but it did open up at 45.5, and now it's at 47.5. That's probably just public taking over because Cardinals' offense looked really good last week. DeAndre Hopkins had 150 receiving yards. Kyler Murray was running all over him. So yeah. I like the under on that.
All right. Justin, you want to go next?
No, you go next.
Okay.
I got to say the best for last.
Okay. So, yeah, I got 3 picks too. We'll start us off with – I'm sorry to give it to you guys. I gave it to you guys last week, but we're going back with the New York Jets coming back as home dogs. Actually, sharps are hitting it down to +7. It was 7.5, somewhere 8. I don't think it could get worse than it was last week. They were just
could.
What?
Don't doubt the Jets. It definitely could.
I mean, people want Adam Gase's head. People want Le'Veon Bell's head. Le'Veon Bell's out. That could be a good sign. That guy's very just worthless anymore. But
comes Frank Gore.
Where I'm looking at it for a turnaround for the Jets is Sam Darnold. He left the game with a good drive. They scored a touchdown on their last drive, but he was just missing wide open receivers for most of that game. I think the defense played okay, honestly. Some might say they didn't, but when that offense for the first 3 quarters literally couldn't get a first down, it's not much what the defense could do. The defense actually forced 2 fumbles on Josh Allen. They kept him in that game. It was just the offense just couldn't even get a first down.
So what changes against the Niners defense? What do you think changes?
Well, 2 things. I think Sam Darnold is going to work with Adam Gase and actually complete passes to those open receivers because there was open receivers. And 49ers, I think this team is actually closer to the Jets than what we think.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We saw Jimmy Garoppolo without Kyle Shanahan. He kind of he's not that good. Just be honest right there. And they're missing 2 of their top receivers. They lost Emmanuel Sanders from last year. Kittle looks like he's not going to play, and that's huge for Jimmy Garoppolo.
And then, Richard Sherman's out for their defense.
Yeah, and then on the other side, Richard Sherman's out. And that defense, you want to make it the Super Bowl defense, you can't let Kyler Murray drive down the field and win the game on that last drive. So 49ers traveling across country for a 1 o'clock game, you just got to play and pray and pick the Jets +8. Okay, so for my second pick, I'm rolling with the Detroit Lions. Heartbreaking loss. They were playing very good for 3 quarters, and then Mitchell Trubisky came back. And the haters, he shut up a lot of haters there. But the Lions, Matt Stafford with a good comeback drive, and DeAndre Swift dropped a touchdown to win the game. So they could easily be 1-0. But this is just the Packers team that I'm fading on a super high level because I thought they were fake last year, and they did beat down the Vikings in week 1. Vikings defense looked horrible. Aaron Rodgers got it going. Aaron Jones had it going. They just put up 40 points. But little do people know, the Lions actually covered 6 straight times against the Packers. They always play the Packers hard.
Yeah.
Last year, Week 17, Packers were actually minus 13 favorites, and they were down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Justin, you remember that game very well.
Yeah, Detroit always plays them hard, man. Every single time they play.
Yeah, so Detroit on the road +6. I'm hoping Lions have Kenny Golladay. If not, they look fine without him, honestly, their offense. I think this is probably a field goal game, if anything. And my third pick is Patriots +4 versus the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I actually been looking at this game before the season even started. One thing to point out is Seahawks the last 2 years are actually better on the road than they are at home, which is pretty crazy to think about.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they were like 7-1 at home last year, or 8-1, and Patriots looked really, really good week 1. All those opt-outs really didn't affect their defense at all. Cam Newton looked good, and Josh McDaniels had a good game plan for Cam Newton. And I think getting 4 points is just a lot. I really like getting 4 points for the Patriots. They're just going to run the ball, control the clock, and it's going to be a defensive battle.
Yeah.
So, got to take the 4 points there. That's pretty much it. What do you guys think?
Did you say 2 or 3?
3. Patriots, Lions, and
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah, no, I like Patriots. I think I'm just a little nervous about fucking betting against Russell Wilson. He's just so good. Last week tore up Atlanta's defense. Obviously, Patriots have a better defense, but they are in the home opener. There's not gonna be any fans, right?
Nah, that hurts Seattle, I feel like.
It definitely does hurt. But you guys gotta be cautious. But they are giving you 4 points, which is a lot. So. I see
And
that.
just want to point out that Belichick's mom died yesterday.
Really?
R.I.P. Mama Belichick, but
Damn, I
Patriots
don't know
got
that.
something to play for. That's all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
for sure. All right, we're about to get into the lock picks now. So last week, what can I say? I'm not a fortune teller. I mean, these teams didn't play any preseason games. Went 1 for 3. Shouldn't have thrown the Vikings. I wasn't really feeling them, but I just liked the line. It wasn't even a team like on team. I just liked the line. I wasn't even thinking about the teams. Aaron Rodgers is different, especially when he's an underdog. So I'm going to get you guys into my first pick. And I also want to say that the Dallas game, the line did switch to the Rams -1. Hated it after that. But we do make these picks on Wednesday, so just so you guys know. But I'm 1 for 3 right now. No more excuses. Let's get it. I'm going to go 4 for 3 after this week. All right, my first pick, I'm going to go with the Colts money line versus the Vikings. Last week was a very upsetting day for Colts fans around the world. We really lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was the last thing that I would ever expect to happen, but that's what happens when there's no preseason and anything can happen on week 1. So Vikings defense is what I was thinking it was going to be, and it is very trash. They lost to Neil Hunter, big pass rusher. Their corner, their secondary got absolutely torched. Like, Devontae Adams is obviously insane. He's going to get his no matter what. But they let Marquez Valdez-Scantling get a bunch of good catches. Austin Lazar. That's just matchups right there. That's not Aaron Rodgers. They're getting open on their corners. So, like what Christian said, we were driving good on Jacksonville. I mean, obviously they don't have better defense than Vikings, but I think we're going to drive good. Phil Rivers looked all right. I mean, he does those picks, but 1 pick, we can live with that. And also, I love how they use Nyheim Hines. Exactly what I was thinking. They're going to use him, like, quick dump offs on him. Marlon Mack, that is a loss. But Jonathan Taylor, it's time to step up. That's what we drafted you for, 2nd round. So lock it in, Colts money line. I was thinking about doing -3, but I just, like, if you guys want, I would say buy it at -2.5. But for this pick, I'm gonna go Colts money line to be safe. All right, next pick is something that I should have picked last week. I'm actually really mad that I didn't say in the video. That is the Washington football team +7 on the road versus the Cardinals. So the football team did what I thought they were going to do, but I just couldn't. I just needed to watch it in action. And that's Ron Rivera gets that defense going, that front savages in the trenches. Ryan Kerrigan, Chase Young, they're doing what they do. Get to the quarterback, cause pressure, and make them the quarterback throw picks or fumble. So Kyler Murray definitely different than Carson Wentz, though. I was thinking because he's gonna flush out, he's gonna get a bunch of rushing yards. So Ron Rivera definitely needs to get a spy on him. And if they can contain Kyler Murray from running around, then I think we should be good and they should get the win. In a low scoring game, I like Joey's under on that too. They should get the cover, not the win. All right, and then for my last pick, I was kind of choosing between this one, but I think I'm going to have to go the Philadelphia Eagles +1.5.
Weird.
This is something you got to be cautious about because that offensive line looked absolute garbage last week, and they are going against Aaron Donald. But, I mean, the Rams, they beat the Cowboys by 3. It wasn't nothing special at all. I mean, if Cowboys kicked the field goal, it's a different game. If Michael Gallup doesn't get called on that PI, it's a different game. Like they might have lose that game. But Eagles, they did look really bad. But lone bright spots were Dallas Goedert looked really good. Jalen Reagor caught a long ball. I mean, Carson Wentz, I don't know what he was doing in the second half. Toward the end of the second quarter in the second half, they were up 17-0, and he just starts turning the ball over, throwing picks. So they're +1.5 right now, and I want to say that if they do get back to minus, I'm off of them. I don't like them at all. I like them +1.5. If they get to +2, I like that. Like if it gets to like in the plus side, I'm staying with it. But if they get to minus, I don't like them.
They get Lane Johnson, Miles Sanders back too.
Yeah, Miles Sanders, yeah, coming back. Lane Johnson coming back.
Yeah, this is a good buy low spot on the Eagles. I think if they didn't lose to the football team, they would be -3.
Yeah.
They just were so bad in the fourth quarter. And I don't think Wentz is as bad as he played. Granted, this is his 5th year in the league, and he shouldn't be making those mistakes. But he still has a couple new wide receivers. And they just really need a running game. I think that's going to help them a lot if Miles Sanders can provide that.
Yeah, their defense, they didn't play that good either. But, I mean, like you said, they gave them short fields to work with, so it was pretty hard on them. But Dwayne Haskins was completing some passes, which was actually pretty shocking. They ran the ball pretty well, too. But I just don't believe in this Rams offense. Like they didn't play that good last week. Malcolm Brown went off. I don't think he's going to go off again. That was kind of crazy. But Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, they did play pretty good. But I'm just banking on the Eagles just to get this win at home. Just good buy low, kind of like you said.
I just worry about Aaron Donald just abusing that offensive line.
Yeah, he's definitely a little worrisome. That's why I said be cautious with it. But like you said, they get Lane Johnson back.
Well, I think a good matchup for the Eagles is their defensive line versus the Rams' young offensive line.
Yeah.
At center. And the reason why Malcolm Brown did so good is he did have a bunch of yards after contact, but it started with the Rams offensive line getting a good push on the Dallas defensive line.
Yeah.
And Fletcher Cox and them boys would but granted, Brandon Graham's going to miss the game. So, but I still think their defensive line's better than.
Yeah. Also, Eagles always beat the Rams. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember Nick Foles +13 on the road, beating the Rams. They just play good against them. Like there's certain teams that just play good against others. Christian had one with the Lions. I'm picking one with the Eagles against the Rams.
All right. Yeah, so there's 9 picks for you guys. Just basically take our picks and formulate your own opinions. We're not fortune tellers, but we do tend to make some money over the weekend, don't we?
And we got a weekend now, so we know what these teams are about. We can't we were just coming in preseason week 1, no preseason week 1, just throwing out picks there. What we think based off last year, but Just don't worry. From now on, it's locks only. I can guarantee it for myself. 4-3 after this week. We'll come back to this video and I'll say I told you so.
All right. So our next segment, you guys know, parlay segment. I'll start us off. It's pretty simple. It is Colts money line. Justin mentioned that. I'm pretty much a consensus among all three of us. We talked about it before. We think the Vikings secondary is just it's not a one-game thing. I think it's a big problem that they're going to have throughout the season, and that's one game. I think the Colts bounced back from a bad loss, and they were moving the ball good, so I'm going to take them. Minus 148. Titans, Joey mentioned that. We don't think the Jaguars are a good team, even though they won. Their defense is just bad. It's just bad. They had a couple of turnovers and a big goal line stop, but it's just bad. And Titans, they weren't that good on Monday night, but I think Derrick Henry and those guys are just going to maul the Jaguars. So minus 375. And you guys heard it earlier. I'm really big on the Jets. Play and pray, baby. I'm playing them plus 7 in the parlay. And that's minus 103. Kind of selling a half a point. It's in the middle. And those three is plus 322.
Good odds.
I'll go with mine next. We got similar parlays. I'm taking the Colts. It's everything you guys said. I'm taking the Titans because what you just said. Now I'm going to take the Ravens, and that's because I don't believe in Houston. I think they got some things to work out on offense. Defense could play better, even though it was against the Chiefs. But I'm not going to believe that the Texans are going to get their head together against the Ravens. So I'm going to take the Ravens money line, all three money lines, Titans, Colts, Ravens. And that comes a plus 163. Hopefully these money lines hit this week and don't lose.
Real quick with the Texans. Two things I always notice about the Texans. I mean, for this year, their receivers, they look like a downgrade from what DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson had. And then another thing is their defense versus these superstar offenses like the Ravens and Chiefs, they just look slow and they really just can't get off the field on third down.
I think that that minus 7 on the road, like Ravens, they're gonna get bet a lot. Like Texans are really bad this week.
Chiefs are also in that window.
Yeah, but Chiefs are up to like minus 9 now. Chiefs are up to minus 9, and Chiefs are just a completely different breed. Like I learned my lesson last week. It looked good for 5 minutes, and then Patrick Mahomes got going, and it was over with. Like I'm not saying that Chargers aren't gonna like I think Chargers have a good defense and they could keep it close, but I don't know. I think Chiefs are just too much. But the Texans, Deshaun Watson is insane as an underdog. Like in his career, he's just insane as an underdog. I think that they could cover the 7 maybe, but outright should be fine.
Don't forget that another thing is Texans actually beat Ravens outright last year.
Yeah, they also beat Chiefs outright, and then they just got demolished this year, though.
I mean, they do play good against good teams, bad against bad teams. But
all right, let me get into my
parlay. The Texans suck.
Let me keep it easy this week. I'm gonna go 2-teamer. I'm gonna go with the Steelers money line as my first leg. I think that Steelers looked insane on Monday night. That defense. I'm not saying Giants are like good or anything because they have an off offensive line, obviously. But that defense looked really good last week. I hope it's not just against the Giants thing, but Denver didn't look that good. The offense looked slow. They had no receivers at third. Melvin Gordon didn't do good till the fourth quarter, but we saw what Steelers did to fucking Saquon Barkley. They just made him run for 5 yards. Big Ben had more yards than him. So I'm definitely in the Steelers money line, and they're not losing that game. So throw them in most of your parlays. Make that be the anchor. And I am going to throw in Colts. I know they said it too, but I want their Colts and Steelers in it. I already explained the Colts. Colts do have a bad secondary, but Vikings do too. And I think we're going to bounce back after that terrible loss. So Colts, money line, Steelers, money line, plus 103, plus money. You already know, lock it in. Playing safe this week.
Yeah, it's funny that you're gonna be a Steelers fan this week for once, right?
Nah, I'm not gonna be a fan, but their defense looked really good, and I can't. What am I gonna say? I'm gonna say just to get you mad. Nah, I can't say. They're good.
Do we not believe in Drew Lock?
I think it's just like too many injuries.
Yeah, that dude's
You guys
confident.
know a fan, man. Like Jerry Judy was dropping
Swinging it.
passes. I had his over in the props, and he was fucking dropping passes. I was getting heated, but Noah Fan looked good. All right, Steelers defense is too much. Steelers defense will shut down the run game, and then it's just all to Drew Lock the third. I don't see it. I mean, Big Ben could be a problem on offense.
I mean,
That's what I'm worried about. The offense getting points.
We were texting about it. It looks like a big waste of money, Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, but I mean, that fourth quarter though, he did. I think you were saying he did come alive. He got the go ahead touchdown. But I mean,
like that fumble on the short field, and then he got stuffed in the goal line.
Yeah, but Titans did miss like 4 kicks. That game should have been way different. Steelers at home, lock it in. They ain't losing.
All right,
I don't know.
this should be interesting. Underdog segment. We're each going to give you a money line underdog plus money. And do I even need to say mine?
Don't tell me you're going to get fucking Jets again.
Jets
Money
money line
thing.
for a second week.
Damn.
Jets money line for a second week. I did mention last week, I said Jets or Washington. I gave you Jets, my bad. But we're rolling back with the Jets. Listen, I'm the only crazy-ass dude that's backing the Jets this week. There's not going to be a penny on them. Frank Gore revenge game. Don't forget that.
Yep.
This guy is going for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Frank Gore. They're just going to pull it out. They're going to pull it out at home in front of their invisible fans. That's all you guys need to know.
That's a bold pick. Joey, who you liking?
I don't think you're going to like my dog.
Let me hear it. Don't tell me Denver.
I'm going with Denver. I'm going with Drew Lock.
There's no
boy.
way.
Listen, we saw Daniel Jones construct one good drive against Pittsburgh. Their defense, Pittsburgh's defense looked good. Their offense looked good. Worry about the offense.
They looked more than good, Joey. Like, come on now. Every time Saquon Barkley got the ball, he was fucking met by
he had like 7 rushing yards.
Drew Lock has that moxie.
Melvin Gordon
puts the ball in tight windows.
Think about this. Saquon Barkley or Melvin Gordon?
Melvin Gordon.
Stop it. Come on, man. Melvin Gordon's slow. He's not elusive like Saquon. He's going to get met in the backfield just like Saquon was.
Yeah, but they were playing – I mean, now I think the offensive line is worse than Denver. Giants?
It might be better, though.
I don't know, actually. I don't know even who's on the offensive line.
There's a guy named Garrett Bowles is their left tackle. He's probably one of the worst.
I have him in Ultimate Team.
Dude, Joey, come on. You have time to pick it
out. It's purely because of Drew Lock. I just think this dude for the ball.
I think they could cover because, listen, Steelers' offensive line is a wreck right now, but Denver lost all their pass rushers.
Yeah, we saw Bradley Chubb living in that backfield.
You know Denver lost A.J. Bouye, too.
Is he not playing?
No offensive lineman for them.
So, I mean,
I'm looking at fights. I'm looking at football. I got all things going on.
So, my Jets pick is plus 260. I forgot to mention that. What's the Broncos?
Broncos plus 290.
Oh, okay.
I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm just saying of all the I might pick the Patriots. I could pick the Patriots if I wanted to. But then I look at everyone else. I don't see any dogs that I really like. I don't think the Cowboys are going to lose, honestly. I think the Colts are going to win. Panthers are kind of sneaky. But I don't know. I think I'm a Brady guy. Dolphins, maybe. But I think the Bills are going to win that game. Jets. Fucking Jets. And then maybe Washington. See Washington. I like Washington. I believe in them.
All right, Justin.
Finish my dog right there.
Finish this up quick. We only have 3 minutes remaining on the video for some reason. Up top. I don't know if you.
All right. Well, fucking Washington football teams 2-0, number 1 the NFC East. Lock it in. Plus 290.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know why we have a meeting time limit. But I think we got everything that we wanted to say this video, right? Anybody else?
No, that's good.
Any last words or thoughts?
Now, what are my picks? My 3 picks again? Colts money line, football team +7. I pick Eagles with the points. Make sure they stay plus. If they don't stay plus, I'm off them.
Yeah. You know what? Since that happened to Justin last week, where he picked Cowboys and then he was off them due to the line movement. Look us up on Twitter, NJ Sweats. We're gonna tweet out.
Follow us on Twitter.
We're gonna if we switch any of our picks, we'll let you guys know. Another thing is look at William Hill's Twitter page for betting splits and odds. We look at it a lot.
Sometimes we retweet it.
Yeah, sometimes we retweet it. That's really it. Best of luck, guys, and we'll see you week 3.
Yep.
Go.
Peace.